with Tommy Kiga. This is fantastic.
We're going to go to a little presentation video for the freestyle and we'll be back with you very shortly.
El freestyle es una disciplina artística de un solo volador. Consiste en realizar 3 rondas. Las 2 primeras rondas son las llamadas compulsory y son la parte técnica de esta disciplina. Los voladores deberán realizar 3 movimientos obligatorios en cada una de estas 2 rondas. La tercera ronda es la llamada free routine o free routine con música. El volador escoge una canción y puede expresarse libremente dentro del túnel volando al ritmo de la canción. Igualmente los jueces valorarán la parte técnica de los movimientos que realice, además de la parte artística. Si te ha gustado este vídeo, no dudes en darnos like, suscríbete al canal y síguenos en nuestras redes sociales.
All right, so next up, Freestyle Open, the compulsory round as well.
This is going to be fantastic. I'm so excited to be here and to be able to watch it and to present it with you. It's fantastic.
Have you presented freestyle before, Ray?
Never.
Ooh.
I've done a little bit of trying to judge it. I just did a little bit of a judging course on the freestyle, so I'm trying to get my eye in for it. And I'm going to have loads of questions for you, Tommy, as we go through.
Oh, well, I hope I can answer them currently then.
You're going to be great. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, originally freestyle isn't really my specialty, but I have been kind of tricked into judging it for the last 2 competitions I've judged. So definitely a better understanding of the compulsory round we're about to see. Just as in Freestyle Junior earlier, we're going to see a 45 seconds routine with no music and really focusing on those 3 compulsory moves. So let's get over them together.
So we have...
compulsory 1, we have the front layout with a full twist combo.
Okay.
So that's a very technical one, kind of one of the most difficult. A flip twist in the tunnel is tricky because they tend to move around a little bit. The problem in the tunnel is you have a wall coming up pretty quick. So you learn them first just doing the front flips, and then little by little you start adding the twist in there. So we've seen actually even in the junior, some of the kids pulling them off, even if they were not part of the compulsory.
Right.
So I'm really looking forward to see the big boys throwing it.
So what's the thing just on the flip twist, on the full twist combo? Is it for execution? Is it centered, or is it that you just don't want them to move across the tunnel? Is that what we're looking for?
Exactly. The judges are going to look at it from a specific perspective, like every other moves, and they're looking for stability. So as you just mentioned, you don't want it to go up or down too much. You don't want it to move left and right too much. It needs to stay centered as much as possible where it started, finishing in the exact same place. So that's for the front layout full twist combo. The second compulsory is a double back loop tucked, which we've actually seen on the junior freestyle earlier. So same principle, they do 2 back loops in a row without pausing in between, and they need to keep their knees tucked. There's also deduction if those criteria are not met. So if the backflip goes up or down or de-axe themselves, so finish in a different heading than they started, if there's a pause in between, all those little elements are going to deduct points from the 10 points of that compulsory. And then the Space Lab, which is one of the favorites from the teams.
I love the Space Lab.
You love the Space Lab? It looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And the team seems to be liking it as well, because you see a lot of Space Labs in free routines, and you also see some Space Labs in the other compulsory where there's no Space Labs.
Yeah.
We had that with the junior earlier. I saw at least 3 Space Labs in there when it was not one of the compulsory.
Does it help to link moves together, the Space Lab, a little bit?
No, not necessarily. I just think it looks good. It's fun to fly.
Right.
It's one of the crowd pleaser. And also when you put it in your routine, then it's extra practice for when you have to play it for the compulsory. Just a little precision on how this is scored. So we have those 3 different moves, those 3 compulsories. Each of them is going to be scored out of 10.
Okay.
And then the presentation is also going to be scored out of 10. What we call presentation is everything that's not one of those 3 compulsories. Entering the tunnel, exiting the tunnel, everything you do in between those compulsory moves, basically what gives gives the impression of having one actual full routine, even though there are compulsory moves inside of them that all the teams have to fly. So 10 points for each move, 10 points for presentation, and then you mash that together and make one score out of it. That's the final score that the team are going to get.
All right, it sounds complicated. You've done some judging of it. I tried to do some judging of it, and I had a massive spreadsheet in front of me trying to figure out exactly how to execute and to do it. It's really tough.
Yeah, it is difficult. You need to be very accurate on what you're looking at. And mainly with the rules now in the judging is that you take deduction for everything that's not perfect. So instead of considering it coming from 0 and giving it a score, you consider it coming from 10, and you take away a little chunk of the score for everything that's either a minor problem or a major problem.
Right.
So small deacts or small change of level are going to be minor deduction. If you do just half of the move, or certain points are more important than others, like posing in between the back loops, for example, are going to deduct more than that.
I'm super excited, and the thing about it is that we've got so many different teams. We've got a lot of junior teams that are now coming up into the full open, how do they call it, the adult or senior category?
Open, it's called open.
Open category. Yeah. And it's going to be great to see what they do. I mean, you've seen some of these guys fly. What do you think of the competition that we've got ahead of us?
There's some really good flyers, and we have some example. For example, Kelly Winterberg, who's 13 years old. She is not competing with the junior. It would be really tough on the other juniors if she was, even though as of her age, she could be in the junior category. Her experience and her talent makes her obvious candidate for the open category, and she's definitely one of the one of the most expected podium holder of this open category.
That's amazing.
All right, we're a few seconds now from the beginning of the round. I think the competitors are gearing up in the antechamber. They're going to make their way towards the tunnel in just a few seconds.
You got a full house out there. I think everybody they're really itching and waiting to watch this. We had a good full day. We had FS in the morning and the VFS in the morning. We've just had some two-way dynamic battles, and now we have this. It's fantastic.
What did you think of the dynamic battles we just saw?
I loved it. When we saw the Hurricane Factory team in there, we saw their routine 3 times.
Yeah, they had a really exceptional day today. Like, they had a bit of a counter performance yesterday, which I think they messed up on one of the compulsory, which put them way lower than their normal level should be. And they were the good example that what works with this kind of format. They came from one of the bottom pool, and they just kept going up and up and up, almost making it all the way to the quarterfinal.
They got their money's worth out of this competition, definitely.
All right, I can hear the tunnel starting, rumbling, and we're going to be starting soon. Who are going to be seeing first?
I think we've got Lucas Lackey from the Space Devils first, I believe.
So we have 14 teams competing in Freestyle Open, so quite a good turn up. And yeah, Lucas is going to be the first one. Lucas has been competing for a few years now. I've definitely seen him to a lot of competition. One of the longest running competitor out there. And he's the son of Laszlo, who's created the Space Devils community for the kids. All right, here we are. Going for the back tuck loop, so a little bit of D-axe, first to his left, then to his right.
Yeah, he opened up a little bit as well, I think.
And opened up a little bit, yes. Into the Space Lab. So the Space Lab, they have 4 steps to make. That was really nice for Lucas here. So the one more compulsory is the front flip and the twist. Nicely done.
Must be hard to keep the end of that twist down in the tunnel.
The twist is definitely a complicated one. It's a pretty scary one to learn as well. And he's out.
It's a great round from Lucas.
That was pretty good. His back flip were not so good, but the other 2 compulsory were nice. Let's see how everything plays out for him at the end.
He just opened up a little bit, I think.
Yeah, opened up, and then he de-axed the first one way and the second one the other way, I think, trying to correct it, maybe over-corrected it, and that pushed him a little bit. But his Space Lab was beautiful, pretty much textbook, and his front layout and full twist was really nice as well.
It looked really good, and I've seen Lucas in the past as well, and I think he's executing those compulsories like better and better every time I've seen him.
That's the secret. You just need to keep at it and train. And I know he's been trained by Leo Volkov lately. Leo joined the Space Devil team and really helping out the kids there. Leo is an incredible flyer, and his influence is going to be hugely beneficial for all those kids.
Good to see.
All right, next up we have Yixuan Chu. I think this is going to be her first freestyle competition solo. She's on Firefly, so she's been competing in two-way for a few years now. One of the best dynamic flyer out there with her teammate Kira. And those two girls are amazing flyers. Kira's been competing in freestyle for a while, but that's going to be the first one for Yixuan. So very much looking forward to see what she's going to do.
Really good. These girls must like push each other all the way every day, teammates, and competing in these disciplines as well.
Lots of love and support, and the result is beautiful. In she go. All right. Starting with some free part. And setting herself up probably for the back flip. Yep. Tucked. Nice. Continuous. Really nice heading. Very tucked. That's probably going to score high here. Nice Thomas flare. All right, she's going to go for the Space Lab here. Really nice, beautiful textbook. And that's actually a move that her and her teammate Kira are doing two-way synchronized side by side in their dynamic two-way routine. So that's a move they've practiced a lot. Front flip, very nice, very beautiful. Didn't move anywhere, stayed completely centered, very beautiful rotation, straight body. That's what the judges wants to see.
That was amazing.
That was a really, really good round for Yixuan. Beautiful.
She really made everything flow together as well, Put lots of other moves in there. Nice to see.
Yeah, very good round. I'm pretty sure she's going to be happy with that for that first performance in freestyle solo for the young lady.
That's brilliant. 2 down and another 12 to go. This is really good. I mean, for me, this is brilliant because like tried to do some judging and watching exactly how they should execute and being able to see exactly they're facing us, they're facing the telly, we can watch it, talk about it. And it's really good to see like so many of these flyers, I've watched their routines from different angles around the tunnel, but having this angle and being able to see just how they execute is perfect.
Yeah.
So for those at home, this is a really good thing.
All right, that's an interesting suit going on here for Fred, one of the local instructor. Definitely going against the grain here with extremely baggy suits. And I'm not quite sure from this angle, but it seems like it's flying at 55 or maybe 65. But whichever the case, it's a really low speed, which would explain the super baggy suit. Interesting choice, definitely uncommon. Let's see how that plays for him. All right, just pulled off his back flip, going quite up, but keeping it tucked. It is 55. He's flying it at 55. That's incredible. And that was the front flip and the twist. A little bit harder to recognize with the suit and the speed is flying, but that is quite a performance he's putting here.
It's amazing. You've got to ask him later what his inspiration is for this suit.
Definitely going to ask him about that.
Out the door.
And he bumps his way out.
Massive round of applause for that. Thank you, Fred.
Well, that was definitely a crowd pleaser. Some people, Josh from Team Viper stood up. Standing ovation for Fred. And yeah, pretty sure that was 55. That is, I can barely fly on my belly at this speed.
That's belly speed.
Pulling off an entire compulsory round at that speed, that's something the judges have to appreciate.
That's got to give me hope.
All right, who do we have next?
Next in we should have Fatima, and she is from Bahrain.
She's from Bahrain. I actually saw her perform for the first time at the Flight Fighter in the Bahrain competition last December. Nice young lady, young competitor. I think that's the beginning of her career. She doesn't have a lot of competition experience, but lots of motivation and very nice personality.
She's been coached by Ben, I believe. Is that right? I think so.
Yeah, she's part of the Gravity team, and lots of support from this tunnel out there. Space Lab.
Yeah, a little bit off center and quite quick, but oh, this is nice.
Some yoga pose. Nice. 2 more compulsory to go. All right, she's going to go for the tucked flip. Pretty nice. Didn't really keep it quite tucked all the way, but pull it off. And now for the front flip and the twist. Finished it a little bit short, but went through. And she's out.
Big round of applause. I think she'll be pleased with that, Domi. She's, you know, improved obviously since the last competition that we saw her in October. You think she'll be happy with that? I think so.
I think she can be happy with that for sure. I see some improvement from the last competition, and you know, as a young competitor, that's all you can hope. You always just want to do a little bit better each time, and if you keep at it long enough, that's when you end up in the top. No secrets there.
It's true of any discipline out there. So anyone listening at home, it doesn't matter which discipline you're competing in. It's true for everything.
All right, next up, I'm gonna have to admit one of my little favorites of this competition, Alabama Schenker from FSU.
She's also one of my favorites, my buddy.
Yeah, I've known Alabama for a few years now. I met her on the skydiving camp with our crazy father. Yeah. And she's an amazing young lady. She is, you know, everything you want to see in a competitor and in a person. She's very dedicated, she works hard, she's very smart about how she goes around the training. I was talking to her earlier, she was slightly intimidated, so I really hope she can shake down those nerves and show us what she's got on this compulsory, and I very much look forward to see her free round. Again, young competitor, this is her very first international competition. She competed in the UK a few times, but this is the first time she put herself on the world stage, and that's always very intimidating. She's just 20 years old, and I very much look forward to see her grow in the sports.
She's amazing. She does some coaching with me in the tunnel. She coaches me around the tunnel. And it's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Ali.
Happy birthday, Ali. Doing really good so far. And pulling off the front flip, real nice. A little bit high, but nice on the twist itself. All right, setting herself up for the tucked back loop. Opened up a little bit too early, but nice one.
I think she's only flown 10 minutes in the tunnel, in this tunnel. So.
Space Lab, yeah, she said she barely trained here. Nice Space Lab. She can be very happy with her first performance. Good job,
well
Alabama.
done, Ali. Huge round of applause from the crowd.
Yeah, see how she opened up here on the slow motion. Just a tiny bit, like a half a rotation too early. But overall, really nice performance from Ali. And yeah, again, maybe I'm partial here. I really love that girl.
We both are. Good job, Alabama.
All right, who do we have next?
Austin Crandall.
Austin Crandall, I believe, from the US.
Do you know Austin very well?
I actually did not know Austin. Is one of my new discovery from this competition.
Really, it's good. I don't know Austin either, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Austin actually does in the tunnel.
Yeah, he's from the US. He's 22 years old, and I don't think I've seen him fly before. So,
I like this.
Welcome to the Win Games, Austin.
No, great. Oh, I watched his guy training. It should be fun.
I know Austin.
Yeah.
He's on the VA Beach Boys. Scratch that. Totally know him.
I love his helmet.
front flip with a twist. Wow, throwing flips with his hand on his back. I see a little bit of Ray Kubiak's influence in there. And the nice, very efficient, quick tucked flip, keeping it tucked all the way down, staying on level. Very fast-paced, aggressive type of flying. Making a little pose at the door here. Nice side flying there. I think Austin is competing in a lot of discipline on this one. Space Lab, nailing it.
That's amazing.
Some more. Did you see that?
Yeah.
More backflip, holding his feet. Yeah.
Brilliant. Go, Austin.
That was awesome.
I think he's getting some practice in, probably, a little bit for his free
Completely
routine.
apologize for not realizing who I was talking about just a second ago.
And it's even worse because I talked to him earlier yesterday and a few times, so we're both responsible there.
Oh well, that will happen. But really nice performance from him.
Yeah, that's great.
Kind of like the cheeky way he takes some of the moves that are like typically kind of the girls' move, like Inca's move, holding his feet flipping through, and just throwing some extra energy in there. And yeah, but wow, that was aggressive type of flying. I really look forward to see what he's going to bring on his free routine.
I'm hoping. I mean, I saw some snippets of it in training earlier, and it looked very, very good. So I'm excited about watching that.
All right, next up, Sylvia Lachna, another one of my little favorites. I have too many favorites. She's been competing just a couple of weeks ago in the Clash of Lions Freestyle Open, and she's been at it for a few years now. I've really seen her grow in the sports, and every time I see her fly, she just keeps on improving, and very promising young lady. Front flips here, a little bit offset on the reception, but pretty good on the flip twist.
She takes a lot on board, Sylvia.
Space Lab, nice. Nice reception, pretty good, 4 different spots. She has one more compulsory to go, and that's going to be the tucked back loop. And she's setting up for it now. She's going to throw it. Nice rotation, kept her knees slightly tucked. Maybe could have been a little bit more closed, but really good. Working on her infinity breaker. I remember actually Alabama talking to me about Sylvia's infinity breakers. And she's going to get out.
Good job. I was actually doing my judging course with Sylvia, actually, so it's really good to get her input as well. Fantastic.
Her information. Let's take a few seconds to look at some of the points that the judges are looking at. For the front layout full twist sequence, like as you saw at the beginning and the end, the performer is in a layout position, which means like a straight position with the knees straight, head-up orientation, and they need to present their side to the judges. They need to do 3 complete 360 layout front loop rotation without stopping. Any stops will create some deduction. The full twist must be performed within and evenly executed, and that's also a tough one. You need to try to make this rotation happen all through the front flip. Okay. Not do a front flips and then do the rotation, right, or do the rotation and then do the front flip. And then you need to make sure that when you on your reception, you're in the same position that you started.
It's be difficult not to make it, let it move across the tunnel.
All right, up next, Kaylee Wittenberg, one of the big favorites of this competition. Boom, infinity breaker like a boss. There's a lot of power in this young lady. Space Lab, nice, smooth, calm, stepping in all proper position, and then she goes for a reverse Space Lab, really nice. Nice straight body position, front flip with the twist and the front flip, beautiful. Another textbook performance. She scored really high a couple weeks ago on this round, and she seems like she's setting up for another really high score. One of Dave's move here. Fast spin, keeping it clean in the middle, because those rotations are very easily to offset and move around the tunnel, but she's keeping it centered, setting herself up for the back tucked, keeping her hands on the knees. Nice one. Very beautiful performance from Callie.
Good job, Kaylee. That was awesome.
Beautiful, and definitely a lot of really amazing elements around, very beautifully executed compulsories. This is definitely going to be one of the high score here.
I did watch some of it. Kaylee was at the Clash of Leon.
She was,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. And I watched as much as I could as I was trying to cook and do a few things at the same time, and watching you, of course, Domi, with Regan. And it was good to see all these, to see it so soon after the Wing Games have come so close to the Clash of Leon as well. So you can see like similar stuff and small amounts of improvements, but also a little bit more focused as well. It's good to see.
Definitely good flying here from Kelly. Let's take a quick look at the Space Lab. Same thing. You want basically it's like the four points. You need to be left up, right down, and keeping it really high. You don't want to be on an angle there. Next up from Spain, Elena.
So Elena only has 35 hours of flying in the tunnel. It's amazing.
Wow, kids these days. Pretty nice Space Lab. Not the cleanest we've seen, but she pulled it off.
Very powerful flyer.
Yeah, man, 35 hours of training. This is incredible. I was definitely not throwing frip twists like she just did when I had 35 hours in the tunnel.
I would have done, but by accident, I was probably hitting the walls along the way.
And then in for the tucked flip. Nice tucked, a little bit offset. She moved her axis slightly to her right, but she kept her knees in. So now she's through with all her compulsories, and she can just create whatever she wants for the final bit of her routine.
Is there some reason, do you think, Domi, to put your compulsories at the beginning and then just put stuff at the end just to make it look good, or do you think it's good to intersperse it?
Well, in theory, you're really free to do whatever you please. Maybe some judges will perceive things one way or another. There's no rules about it. I guess if you can make it nice and then have a good routine behind, some people would prefer this because it gives them more freedom to really create something that flows into one another. Whether if you try to make the compulsory spread out evenly through the round, then you need to engineer it a little bit differently. It limits your creativity. So it's a little bit harder. I would assume that maybe it's judged a little bit higher. But at the end of the day, there's no strict rule about that.
It's good to know.
All right, who do we have up next?
Guillaume.
Guillaume Boileau from Canada. He is also competing in Dynamic 2A with Malakai, but freestyle is his original passion. He's one of Canadia's top freestyler. Very powerful. Look at those. Bam! Sat fly to Tom's flare, back into an out face. We haven't seen any compulsory yet, getting almost towards the middle of the routine, so he made the choice of keeping them for the end, obviously. It's going to go into the tucked, pretty nice, keeping it low, staying on level. All right. It's going to be setting himself up for the Space Lab. Pretty good. Now we just have the front flip with twist, and it's coming right now. 1, 2 with the flip, 2 and 3, and is out. Oops, almost. Should have got my timing wrong. Holding his feet here. A little bit out of time, slightly, but pretty good compulsories.
Pretty good from Guillaume. Do we have time deductions or for encroaching or being under time, Domi, on these compulsory
You would
routines?
eventually, but no, like usually there's a margin of acceptance. Like if you just like, I think it would probably not no more than 2 seconds over, so that's probably not going to matter too much. Obviously, if a flyer finishes 10 seconds earlier or 15 seconds too late, sometimes we see that that's going to be some deduction. If it's just a few seconds, there's some tolerance there.
Okay.
All right, 3 more flyers to go, and none the least. We have coming up Jamie Arnold, Maya, Kuchka, and Kira Po. 3 very good flyers. So a little bit of information for Jamie, who's about to fly his compulsory. As you know, there's no music, right? But Jamie is actually flying to music right now. He makes him feels better, and only one person in the audience right now has the music file and is sending it to him. So he is listening to the music when he flies. Nice first 2 compulsory. His Space Lab was pretty textbook with his toes pointed to the max. Probably one of the best we've seen so far. His front flips were really nice. Oh, something must be wrong with the music, I guess. He's got his teammate. Oh, no, he's tying his hands.
Oh,
he just got his hand tied.
He did. That's amazing.
Wow, he's doing the second part of his routine with his hand tied behind his back, ladies and gentlemen. I have never seen this before.
Jamie is one of my heroes.
And now he's going to go for the last compulsory, the tucked flips with his hand still tied behind his back.
Good
That
job,
was incredible.
Amazing. It always brings something different, Jamie.
So I did not notice during the first part of his routine that his teammate in Dynamic 2-Way, Dan Guest, was staying at the door with something in his hands. I did not pay attention to that. But then he flew out, got his teammate to tie his hands behind his back, get back in it, and flew the second part of his compulsory. How incredible is that?
It's amazing. It's absolutely, like, it must be so hard to fly with your hands tied behind your back.
It is incredibly difficult, but Jamie has proven time after time that he is an extremely technical flyer, and he's definitely got his own style. He's not copying anybody, and he doesn't really care for what people will say of his innovation, which makes him a very unique flyer and one of the best flyers we've got out there. And this little stunt right there was pretty damn good.
I think we saw him blindfolded a little while ago as well, right?
He did one blindfolded. What is he going to come up with next one?
I don't know. Tie his feet up, maybe? Feet and hands?
Feet to hands.
And then blindfolded as well. Let's see what he does.
How many more win games do we have?
I don't know. We're throwing the gauntlet down to you, Jamie. Let's go see what you got next.
Well, careful what you wish for. That was incredible. All right, up next, we have Maya, one of the crowd's favorites. Red Bull sponsor athlete, starting off with the tucked back flip. So one compulsory straight out of the door, some side fly, half a million breaker.
Yeah. 500,000, I love it.
All right, setting up for the full twist sequence.
Moving a little bit.
Moving back a little bit, not keeping it centered quite, but nice straight body position. And then the space slab. Two first step, a little bit quick, but nice, nicely evenly repeated around the rotation. Very graceful. That's definitely Maya's signature, right?
Yeah,
she
definitely
is an extremely graceful flyer and a lot of power in the rotation. Look at that. Boom.
And she's out. Maya started when she was quite young as well. And
yeah, she was, I think the first time I met her was in the Knights of Prague competition back in 2013. So one of the first dynamic four-way competition we were hosting. And she was actually competing in four-way. There was no two-way at the time with Andrzej, who was now on Team Viper.
Oh, wow.
And two of the local instructors in Prague. So she was a beginner dynamic flyer back in the days. And she quickly specialized in freestyle, which is now our signature discipline. First Red Bull sponsored athlete specifically for the tunnel.
It's good to see.
And she just turned 18 very recently, so still she has her whole career ahead of her.
That's great to see. I feel like I've been watching Maya for so many years as well, so it proved that that is the case. I have been.
All right, last but not least, Kira Po, another one of my sweetheart favorites, amazing competitor, very powerful, very versatile as well. She's dominating in dynamic, two-way, in solo, in four-way, in freestyle. There's nothing that girl can do. And on top of being one of the best flyer out there, she's also an amazing human, very fair play, amazing demonstration of sportsmanship, always.
Wise beyond her years, I think.
Wise beyond her years, indeed. Really nice space lab here with a superb split rotation. Going for the tucked loop. Nice. Keeping it exactly on level. No D-axe whatsoever. Some head down helicopter spin. And then she has one more compulsory to go. She's going to go for it now. The twist sequence. Beautiful. Another textbook demonstration from Kira.
Lovely.
With a stack to finish it. Nice tricks towards the end of the routine, flying out the door. Beautiful, beautiful round from Kira.
Massive round of applause. Huge.
Yeah, she's also one of the crowd's favorites. And again, I think the conjunction of her overall badassness, excuse my French, and her amazing attitude, respecting everybody, respecting the judges, respecting the competitors, helping people. She's not only the champion in scores, but she's also the people's champion. Yeah. And I think that's something everybody should strive for.
She's always got a hug for me. It's great whenever I see her, the whole family. It's fantastic. And she's like that with everybody. You know, it's just nice to see.
They are amazing. All right, well, that concludes the first compulsory round of Freestyle Open. We're going to leave you to a quick video of our sponsors, and we'll be back shortly. And we are back in the studio with Greg Crozier from Team Airwax in the Sky, but here competing with the team Way Too Dynamic Tunnel Air Racer. What's up with that, Greg? What's your team name? We want to know.
It took a bit, sometimes to find a good name. So we started with this Tunnel Air Racer, and my teammate hated it, so we found this Way Too Dynamic thing, which is actually kind of nice stuff, but was too short notice for Windor to change it, so it's okay.
All right, so you're going to keep on going with that team under the name of Way Too Dynamic. I actually think it's a great name. I kind of wish I thought of it before. So you're really good at finding team names. Airwax was a brilliant one as well. And you're really good at getting nice logos for it. Well, at least your wife is, your girl is. So tell me a little bit. You're competing in the Sky with Team Airwax. You're one of the French national team, trusting the podium for the last couple of years. So you're up there in the free fly game, and now you're starting in dynamic, kind of from scratch. You don't have as much training in the tunnel as most of the team out there. How does it feel to go from being one of the best to being one of the upcoming flyers?
It's an actual challenge, and that's for sure. But it's like so many winters that I've been pushed actually by all these guys for Windor. All these guys who became today ninjas, they are telling me every winter, Greg, come on, you have to do competition, you have to do competition. And they were right. Like I saw the progress they did, and I actually also saw something new. Like it's a couple of years now, you can see tunnel instructors, only 2 years experience, maybe 3, and they just kill you.
Shred.
So you have to recognize that, of course, if you do competition and especially speed, because you have to be 100% of what you can do, this is the best way to become a weapon. So it's not that we became lazy in the Sky, it's just it's different rules. In the Sky, because you have a camera guy who is following you, you have to be kind of slow. You have to do presentation, and you have to be, it's a special recipe.
I know some teams who would disagree with you on that.
No, but it is how it works actually for me, because I fly with my wife, and it's different way. So we have to take everything in consideration. We have different way with different of shape, body shape, etc. And that's why also we decided first to do speed competition to become faster and stronger, and to do actually something for the winter. And also to find maybe another teammates like we did. So
somebody that would match your body type better, because for sure you and Karine don't look quite the same.
Yes. If you noticed, like you can see, pretty much everybody has somebody that looks like him.
Yeah, definitely finding similar body type is it works. We have a few exceptions, but most of the people are like that. Thank you very much, Greg, for coming in with us.
Yes, last thing, absolutely, I would like to thank Windor because they help us like for years and years from the beginning, actually. And for sure, it's thanks to them that we are here today.
Definitely big thanks to Windor. Without them, the sport would not be what it is today. Thank you very much, Greg, and I'll see you in there. Back to our sponsors.